What's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer. If you're someone who loves precious metals, wants to be updated on a day-to-day basis with what's happening in the silver stacking world, then make sure you're subscribed and turn on post notifications. I do daily videos, weekly live streams, and monthly giveaways. This video is regarding the 5-year forecast, the 5-year prediction for silver prices. And I did some digging and I found several different places, different banks, different people that have given their 5-year forecast. And it's very interesting to say the least. I also want to know what your 5-year forecast is. So comment down below what you think silver's price will be over the next 5 years and why. The why is the most important part of the question. I could say $100, but if I don't give reason why I think silver is going to be $100 over the next 5 years, I'm not really saying much. So make sure you comment down below and give some insight, right? A lot of people might read your comment down below and you'll help them or shed some light and just bring some new insight to silver stackers. So 2021 silver price predictions, projections, and 5-year forecast. This is a really, really good article. I will link this article down below if you guys want to check it out for yourself. So what will the silver price do in 2021 and where is it headed over the next 5 years? And I like this article specifically because it goes over Metals Focus, Sprott, Citibank, JP Morgan, Bank of America, all Goldman Sachs, a whole bunch of people. They give their 2021 forecast and go over the 5-year forecast. So I've compiled silver price predictions from a number of precious metals analysts and consultancies. I also make my own prediction based on key factors that in my experience are most likely to influence the price of silver both this year and the next 5 years. This will be fun, so let's jump in. It definitely is. And I like that he goes over the different possibilities. This is when I've given my prediction before in the past. I also do the several different variants or the different directions it could go based on what happens in the economy and what happens in the markets, right? You can't just say it could be you can't just say it will be $100. You have to say it could be $100 because of this, or you have to say it could be $50 because of this, or it could be $20 because of this. Give different reasonings, different possibilities, and it just broadens the horizon when we're looking at forecasts. So anyway, surveying the silver landscape. So the table below shows silver price prediction from various commodity and bank analysts for 2021. Here's what they think we'll see this year. So Lawrence Williams, which you guys know I've covered a lot of his articles, he says $32.25. Jeffrey Christian from the CPM group says $28.17 average. Metals Focus well above $30, which $30 is a lot of resistance. So if it breaks past $30, I have a feeling we're going to see $35, $40 shortly after. And that's probably why Sprott says $30, $35 range. Citibank says $40, which is interesting because banks hate silver. They love gold. Silver is not really money to them. So it's interesting that they are saying these extremely high bullish prices for silver when they try to devalue silver and sweep it under the rug. But anyways, JP Morgan, $26.50. CIBC, $32. Bank of America, well above $31. PNB Paribas is $23.50 average. Bloomberg Intelligence, probably $50. That's pretty crazy. Economy Forecast Agency, $28.55. Investing Haven, north of $30. Goldman Sachs, $40, and Capital Economics, $27. So most industry analysis predict the price of silver will move higher this year through 5, project it will remain below 30. The average of all these analysts is in the low $32 range. But as you can see, that range is quite wide. It definitely is, right? Some people are saying 50, some saying 28. So that is important to consider when predicting where the price might go. Silver can be very volatile at times, a result of its small market size and that it doesn't make up much cash entering or exiting to have a big impact on the price. As such, the swings, both up and down, can be bigger than what most other assets experience, including gold, and this fact can be taken into account when looking at how high or low the price might go. I also want to say something else. All of these people could be correct. Well, I guess if we're looking at 2021, it's a pretty short period of time for all these numbers to hit. But if this was, for example, if this was a 5-year price forecast, every single one of these people could technically be correct because at some point it could be $32. And then in a couple of years, in 2023, it could be $40. And then in 2024, 25, it could be 50. So each person is gauging their prediction on a specific number, but that specific number could vary throughout the years. Now in 2021, it's going to be interesting to see where the rest of the year leads, but anything can happen, right? If you want to talk about crazy silver prices, we're living in crazy times. So anyways, as you can see, the range is quite wide, right? And silver is volatile. It's extremely volatile. It's like gold on steroids. So let's go into some of these factors that will most likely influence silver's price. So while there are a number of variables that can impact silver's price, let's look at the most likely to play out this year and beyond and determine if they're likely to push the price higher or lower. And I can just give you a little heads up. All of it looks like it's going to push the price higher. So industrial demand. Roughly half of all jewelry or half of all silver goes towards a variety of industrial applications and another third to jewelry. Demand from industrial users usually doesn't fluctuate all that much, but the next 4 years is likely to see a substantial increase due to Biden's green policies. That's because silver is a key component in many green technologies. Since it's the most conductive of the metals, it is vital to making green technologies what they are. So if industrial demand grows, as I expect, the silver price is likely to increase. And trust me, demand isn't going anywhere except upwards. And it's going to keep going upwards for the next several decades. So if he's saying that he thinks that silver's price is going to rise as the demand rises, then we shouldn't have anything to worry about. Now, there are unknown variables, like he mentions as well, and these things are going to hit us out of the blue. They come from nowhere. You can't expect it. Nobody could have expected a global, outbreak to happen back in 2020. So all those forecasts were way off. So this chart going back to 1960 demonstrates the link between investment demand and prices. The red shaded areas show that selling from investors led to lower or weak price, while green shaded areas show that rising demand from investors led to rising prices. And that is interesting. So net withdrawals, net additions, you can see way up here, and then you can see nominal price all the way up. It is actually interesting. That goes by hundreds of millions of ounces, and that's the dollar per ounce average. So the key to this chart is that when investment demand shifts from net selling to net buying, the price has risen, and vice versa. So as investment demand goes, so goes the silver price. So are investors buying or selling silver? This chart from Nick Laird at Gold's Charts R Us shows the typical or the total physical silver holdings by funds, exchanges, shortage facilities. Look what's been happening. Total silver ounces held worldwide. Look how dramatically high it's going. And it's only getting crazier. When you look at Wall Street silver, when you look at all these people, they're not selling, they are holding. They're buying and holding. They're squeezing the market. So if we're going off a chart like this, it's only going to show prices to go up. Investment demand for physical metals never been higher. And actually this year, it's through the roof. It's breaking historical charts. Even with the SLV side of things. So even when vaccines came out, investment demand continued to surge. Investors clearly want exposure to silver. The Silver Institute reported that they fully expect investment demand from bullion to continue to march higher in 2021, and we've definitely seen that. So I can also tell you that demand for silver bullion spiked at gold silver last year, particularly when scares about this, everything exploded along with the stock market crash. In March, volumes went through the roof. They've spiked again in January. So as such, if investment demand, the biggest impact on the price, continues to rise as is projected, the silver price will increase. So one thing that could depress the silver's price is if vaccines work and are widely used, pushing the economy back to some sort of normal. While industrial demand won't subside in that scenario, investment demand could, and that's push the price down. And it's interesting because now we fast forward and we're living in this time right now, and even though vaccines are working, demand is still rising. So silver would also decline if stock market crashed or we entered a double dip recession. It has not historically done well during those events. And I like how he does say, he does give some results that could lead the price lower. Silver's 5-year prediction. When looking at the price of silver over the next 5 years, probably the biggest catalyst is monetary dilution. When the currency is debased, it makes real assets like silver and gold more valuable since they can't be created with a few computer keystrokes. And now that we have both monetary stimulus and fiscal stimulus, monetary stimulus usually goes first to the banking system and ends up inflating asset prices. But fiscal stimulus are funds that will be injected directly into the economy and immediately spent. It's like me giving you $100 and you deposit it in a savings account versus spending it that day on groceries. You probably don't need me to say it, but the US doesn't have trillions of extra cash to spend on fiscal stimulus. It already can't balance a budget sheet. Some claim they'll collect on the back end as jobs are created and economic grows, tax revenue will increase, but the debts and deficits are so high now, they're mathematically unpayable. And history clearly shows they will lead to inflation, higher consumer prices. Where will they get the funds for these stimulus programs? They have to create it digitally and otherwise, which will add to the already bloated deficit, right? They have to reprint extra dollars, which weakens the dollar's strength. It only takes a sixth grade education to understand that the more you create something, the less valuable it becomes. As more and more currency units are created for these massive spending plans, the US dollar will become less and less valuable, and silver and gold will become more valuable. And that's because there is a direct correlation between gold and silver prices to the dollar index. In fact, monetary stimulus alone is 95 times greater than annual silver production. Now that the Democrats control all three branches of government, currency printing is sure to continue and fiscal spending is certain to jump. Both of these things will have a direct impact on the price of silver. As Mike Maloney has said, there is no vaccine for the coming monetary crisis. The only way he'll be wrong about silver and gold is if they stop printing, and that won't happen anytime soon. They're actually looking to up the ante, print more. So, because of this, he says, my most confident prediction is that over the next 5 years, silver price is going to increase. So he's looking at, here's his projection. So there are many other potential catalysts that could impact the silver price. Frankly, there are so many possibilities that they're hard to catalog. And that's why it's crazy, because I really do make daily videos, and almost every day I'm bringing a new point, a new perspective, a new situation to the table that could or will influence the price of silver. I mean, it's crazy to think how many different reasons silver will or has potential. So what he covered here are unique circumstances the silver market finds itself in right now, and why the upcoming bull market could be bigger than many anticipate. So this is what impacts gold, which is also likely to impact silver, and that's because gold is silver's big brother. So based on these factors, here are his predictions for the silver price, both 2021 and where price could be in 5 years. So potential high with no crisis, $35. Well, he's saying the minimal high for 2021 is 30. So potential high with no crisis, $35. Potential high with a crisis, $50. Potential low if stock market crashes, 15. Likelihood silver is higher in 2021, 95%. Likelihood silver falls below $12, which is a 2020 below, is 5%. 5-year silver production, 5-year silver projection, $100 minimum. He's saying $100 minimum in 5 years. That is a great, this was probably one of the most well put together articles, predictions, forecasts I've seen. Not only does he cover several other, at least 10 other banks and people, but he also gives so much context of why silver is going to go this high. Most people that talk about Bitcoin or stocks, they say these numbers, but they don't have all this information and proof in charting to back it up of why. They don't give the why. Like I asked you guys to tell me why you think silver. People can throw out all these assumptions and theories, but they can't back it up with any proof or evidence. But silver, clearly you can. I mean, it's blatantly obvious. So anyways, what is yours? I would definitely say the 5-year high for silver easily is going to be above $100. Now, the 1 to 2 year, I could see it 30, 40, 50, or 40, 50. At the end of 2021, I'm expecting at least $35 silver By then, things will have enough time. That's still quite a ways to go. So I definitely think 30 will silver break past the $30 barrier. Once it hits that, it's going to be mid 35. And then I think we'll be ending the year around that range. Be a lot of volatility between 35, $30, $35. And then I think next year we're going to start to see things pick up a little more. But eventually it is all going to lead to $100 silver at the end of the day. Now, if you're not planning on selling for the next year or two, then I don't know why you would want the price to go higher, because it just means you have to buy your silver for a more expensive price. I don't know why you would need validation for that. Some people do for some reason. I mean, if you understand silver's true value, then you shouldn't need the price to go up for you to be happy or to know that you don't need that confirmation. We talk about this article showed all the proof and validation and confirmation you should need, right? You don't need to see the number go higher just to believe that it's worth that much. It's obvious that it is. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you thought this video was 1, educational, 2, informational, 3, at least entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. I post daily videos every single day. Make sure you like this video, comment down below. I would love to hear your 5-year forecast and explain why. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.